If creativity feels hard, ask yourself, am I avoiding repetition? Am I protecting my identity? Am I filling the silence with noise? Am I waiting to feel ready? These are ego questions, not creativity problems. Unfortunately, creativity is simple, and that's exactly why most people avoid it. We love to believe that creativity is mysterious, that it requires genius, that it's complicated, that we just do not have it. But the truth is far less romantic. Creativity is simple. Your ego just makes it complicated. And today I'm going to explain what I mean by that. When I began studying creativity seriously, I expected complexity. I expected hidden frameworks, elite secrets, and advanced cognitive techniques. But instead, I kept finding the same things over and over again. The most creative people were not the most talented. They were the most willing to devote time and space to wonder and rigor. They were willing to be wrong, willing to look foolish, and willing to repeat boring practice, willing to sit in discomfort. That was it. Creativity is not complicated. It's uncomfortable, and discomfort is where the ego starts to negotiate. Creativity is simple. You just do not like what it requires. And let me explain. Number one, creativity requires repetition. We love breakthroughs. We do not love the rigor of practice. Creative people repeat small experiments constantly. They sketch daily. They write daily. They question daily. They prototype daily. It is not glamorous and it can feel mundane. Your ego wants novelty, and creativity, it demands consistency. And that's the tension where most people quit. Number two, creativity requires looking incompetent. You can't innovate without trying something you're not good at yet. But your ego hates being bad. It wants you to protect your identity. It wants you to stay in the zone where you look capable. The most creative leaders I know are comfortable being beginners. They say, I do not know. They say, let's test it. They say, this might fail. Creativity is simple. Try the things you're not good at yet. Become a clumsy student of something, even when the ego says no. Number three, creativity requires boredom. We live in a world of constant stimulation, but creativity requires space for synthesis. And boredom is not the absence of intelligence, it's the incubation of insight. When you remove stimulation, your brain begins to connect ideas. But boredom feels uncomfortable. So we scroll, we multitask, and we fill in the silence. Creativity is simple. Sit with nothing long enough for something to emerge. Your ego prefers noise. Number four, creativity requires emotional regulation. You will feel doubt. You will feel comparison. And you'll feel frustrated. The ego wants immediate relief from these emotions. So it tells you, this is not good enough. Someone else is better. This is not worth finishing. Even when we are being our most creative selves, we can still feel these emotions. We just should not let them drive the process. Creativity is simple. Finish even when you doubt yourself. Number five, creativity requires letting go of being right. Certainty feels powerful, but creativity thrives in ambiguity. The ego wants answers, creativity needs questions. When you rush to conclusions, you close possibility. When you sit in uncertainty, you expand what's possible. Creativity is simple. Ask one more question before deciding. The ego wants resolution, but innovation requires suspension. Number six, creativity requires rejecting perfection. Perfection is ego dressed as excellence. It tells you that you are refining, but often you are just avoiding exposure. When we're our most creative selves, we launch, we release, we test, and we iterate. We understand that feedback fuels growth. Creativity is simple. Share before you feel ready. The ego wants applause, creativity wants evolution. Number seven, creativity requires rhythm, not drama. We glorify intense bursts of inspiration, but sustainable creativity is rhythmic. Small daily movement, small daily reflection, small daily recovery. No drama, no heroic sprint, just repetition. The ego loves intensity, creativity loves consistency. Now, this is sometimes harder than it sounds because the ego is not evil, It's actually protective. It wants safety, status, validation. Creativity threatens all three of those things. It asks you to be seen before polished, be wrong before right, be uncertain before confident, and that's vulnerability. So instead of saying, I'm afraid, we say creativity is complicated. It's not complicated, it's vulnerable. If creativity feels hard, ask yourself, am I avoiding repetition? Am I protecting my identity? Am I feeling the silence with noise? Am I waiting to feel ready? These are ego questions, not creativity problems. If you want to simplify creativity, try this. For 30 days, move your body before you think. Protect 10 minutes of silence daily. Ask one different question in every meeting. Launch something small weekly. Stop editing yourself mid process. Nothing dramatic, just simple. Consistency will outperform inspiration every time. Unfortunately, creativity is simple. Repeat, experiment, rest, ask, and launch. The complication is not in the process, it's in the protection of your ego. And when you loosen that grip, creativity becomes accessible, not magical, accessible. You are probably way more creative than you think. In fact, I know you are. But how you can figure that out is by downloading the new Move, Think, Rest audit worksheet. This is an audit that helps you and your team examine how your current rhythms of movement, thought, and rest support or limit your ability to do meaningful, sustainable work. Has being your most creative self ever felt a bit terrifying to you? It has to me sometimes, and that's because it's asking me to be vulnerable. It's requiring me to iterate, to ask for help, to do what I call oxygenate your ideas and get feedback. If you ever find yourself against this wall of vulnerability, lean into it. It's your ego talking, it's your creativity wanting to stretch yourself. You are much more creative, possibly, than you imagine. Just start by being vulnerable, oxygenating your ideas, asking for feedback, and asking for help so that you can iterate and be all about the build.